Hi, and welcome back to session 4 of JA Our Community. For this lesson, you'll need your volunteer guide, the decision tree poster, group brainstorming worksheet. You'll want your student edition as well, although honestly I do not actually hand these back out. I prefer to use the big poster because this has a lot of things going on otherwise. Your I voted stickers and your ballot sheets. Now your ballot sheets, you will also want to make sure that you separate those into individual ballots. I also made a little box, a voting booth where the students will actually put their vote at the end, so that's optional if you would like to make one. For this lesson, you will introduce yourself again, remind them of the lessons that you learned about from the last time, and ask them about decisions that they've made today. What kind of choices have they had? For example, if you need to prompt them, you can ask them, what did you play at recess? Well, that was a choice that you made. You chose to play kickball instead of shooting hoops with your friend. So those are all choices. What did you have for breakfast? Maybe you had a certain kind of cereal instead of oatmeal. Those are choices that they have. And then define what a decision is. Tell them that in a community that they have to help make decisions, that when they turn 18 they have the right to vote. And that in our community today, we have a place of business that's for rent, and you'll find that there on your poster, and that they actually are going to be able to choose a mayor based on the business that mayor wants to have. You will go ahead and hang up the decision tree poster to the wall and talk about what's the decision that needs to be made, which mayor should they vote for, and then ask them what are the choices. Well, each mayor wants to bring a different business to the community, so you'll talk through those, and then you'll talk a little bit about learning about the pros, the good, or the cons, the bad of each decision that they make. And you'll talk about what are the good results of that choice going to be. If they choose Mayor 1, they aren't going to be able to get Mayor 2 and 3 at this time. So talk about those choices. Then go ahead and give the directions. Tell the students that they're going to be given a mayor, they're going to be given the business that they have, and then they have to list all of the good things and all of the bad things that they can think of. Oftentimes when we make our decisions, we have to think about what are the good things, what are the bad things when I make my decision. Then, after you've explained the directions, divide the class into 6 groups. Now you have only 3 mayor choices, so 2 of the groups will have the same exact mayor choice. Go ahead and allow them time to brainstorm. I give them about 15 minutes. I do always give them a 5-minute warning, and then I call time. Then I ask each of the groups to come up. So if I'm asking for Mayor A, I'll have both of those groups come up, and I'll have them talk through what are the good things about this choice, what are the negative things about this choice, and talk through the plus and the minus on each of the candidates. After that's all done, I try not to lead them to what the best choice would be, because we talk about how when you vote, you actually get to think through what you think the best choice is. And sometimes you actually have to think about other people rather than what is for yourself, because you're looking at what would be best for our community, not just what would be best for me. So then what I do is I talk about a voting booth, and I usually ask the students, how many of you have ever been to a voting booth with your parents? Some people will have been, and they'll be able to talk about their experience. I remind the kids that voting is confidential. It's a secret, so nobody knows what they're going to vote for. They don't have to tell anyone what or who they voted for when they vote, and that's true even as an adult. What I choose to do for this activity is I actually set up a polling place. So usually I have this in the center, and then I have a table over here and a table over here, and I call students up and have them each take an individual ballot. They get to take it, they get to be in a private setting like you would at a voting poll place. They will vote, and then they will cast their vote, and they'll put their vote right in here, and I won't look, and we'll talk about how important that is. When they're done, I give them their I voted sticker so that way they wear that. And then at the end, the first thing I do is I talk about, why is it that you think I gave you a sticker? Well, the reason why is because adults even get one. When they go to vote, oftentimes they have a choice of whether or not they want to wear one, and that's to raise awareness of voting day. That way it'll help hopefully encourage other people to get out and vote as well. When everyone's done voting and we've talked about the sticker, I go through and I count the ballots, and I pull one out one at a time, and then I tally on the board who has won. And we go through, we say, oh, Mayor A, and then we tally. Oh, Mayor B, and then we tally. Sometimes I might even call a student up to help do that. Usually you have some disappointed kids because obviously they're going to have different opinions. So we talk about what does it mean to be disappointed and how is it that we knew who won. The reason why is because that's called the majority. And in the United States we have a majority rules. So the most people who vote for something is going to be the choice that actually wins. At the end, we talk about our summary and review. We go through the students telling us about the decisions that they make every day and the choices that they have, that oftentimes they might have a choice when they get home from school. They either have to do their homework right away or they get to go out and play. But sometimes if they don't have enough time to get their homework done and they choose to go out and play, then they might get in trouble at school the next day. So you can talk about some of those choices that they have. Then at the end of your session, once you're done, tell them when you'll be back. You also want to touch base with the teacher and let them ask them if they have a tape player to make sure that they have a tape player for that next lesson. And then make sure that you also remind the teacher to give you a class list so that way you have it for the graduation certificates. Enjoy your session 4.